with Tupac's companion, and Tupac just got between them to stop it. Another time in Atlanta, friends drove Tupac from a concert he had given when witnesses say 2 off-duty white cops in street clothes were beating on a black motorist in front of the rapper. Tupac rolled down his window to ask what was happening. Both white and black witnesses say the white men then ran at Tupac's car, smashed Tupac's car window with the butt of a gun, and shot at him. Tupac reportedly rolled out of the back left seat and got a security guard's gun. The men started running partly sideways with a gun pointed back at Tupac, as they apparently hadn't expected the large group of people in Tupac's envoy to exit their cars to defend Tupac. Tupac had already gotten down on one knee and shot the men several times in the butt, back, and leg. The state used several excuses for dropping their legal case against Tupac for this shooting. Evidence supports that prosecutors actually dropped the case to avoid revealing police intelligence's botched attempt to assassinate new rap and film star Tupac Shakur. The 2 cops claimed to have been drinking that night, but they also were carrying a gun stolen from an evidence locker with which they shot at Tupac. As seen in a later, unrelated Tupac trial, testimony says that a police detective described such a gun as a throwaway gun. He reported that police use such a gun to drop in someone else's hand or get rid of when they kill someone and don't want the murder weapon traced back to them. The FBI worked closely with Atlanta Police Intelligence in 1993. They admitted collecting thousands of documents in their surveillance of Imam Jamil Al-Amin, who had changed his name from H. Rap Brown. As a Student National Coordinating Committee leader and a one-time honorary Black Panther, Brown gave speeches nationwide. An hour after giving a speech in Cambridge, Maryland, 2 police officers fired shots at Rap Brown, leading blacks in that town to riot. U.S. Congress then passed the Rap Brown Amendment, making it illegal to cross state lines and give a speech that provokes a riot. During the rioting, Maryland police tried to arrest Brown, but his supporters snuck him out. A reporter later asked Brown if the rumors were true that they snuck him out in a coffin. Brown responded, "I've never said. The government probably would have liked me to leave in a coffin." Brown converted to Islam and became Atlanta's imam, or spiritual leader. As Imam Jamil Al-Amin, he headed their council of imams for a sect that included a majority of the world's Muslims. While his group cleared drugs out of neighborhoods, the FBI's undercover infiltrators of his mosque found no wrongdoing. In 1995, a man reported that police coerced him to say Imam Al-Amin shot him. In the later 1990s, much evidence supports that police framed Al-Amin for the murder of a police officer, and he now sits on death row. With the Atlanta police shooting at Tupac Shakur, U.S. intelligence appeared to use an even more sophisticated strategy against Tupac: psychological profiling. Huey Newton had written in his book War Against the Panthers how the FBI had used psychological profiling in unsuccessfully trying to assassinate him in the 1970s. In 1981, police shot former Philadelphia Black Panther leader Mumia Abu-Jamal. Jamal had worked as a radio journalist, receiving awards and leading the city's Association of Black Journalists. Mumia's radical journalism caused him to lose higher-paying jobs, so he moonlighted as a taxicab driver. One late night in December, a police officer started beating Mumia's brother, Billy Cook, on the head until he bled within eyesight of Mumia in his cab. Mumia came over to the scene and bullets rang out, leaving the police officer dead and Mumia wounded. Much evidence, including many witnesses and even an affidavit from one of the shooters, support that U.S. intelligence used psychological profiling to lure Mumia to the scene. Police intelligence could then kill Mumia, either there or with a frame-up for murdering the police officer. One of the shooters, a contract killer now in prison for another murder, said that corrupt police and mafia paid him to kill the police officer. He also said that another shooter finished the job and left the scene. Years later, the Village Voice and others quoted several witnesses that corroborated this account. U.S. intelligence had so far succeeded in framing Mumia Abu-Jamal with the murder, as he now sits on death row. A longtime court stenographer signed an affidavit attesting to the judge's collaboration with any U.S. intelligence's goals against Mumia. The stenographer said that when she came up to the judge in his chambers before Mumia's case, he said, "I'm going to help them fry the nigger." Acclaimed writers and artists, along with politicians worldwide, have unsuccessfully tried to gain Mumia a new trial, but he can be heard around the world on activist radio stations that play his weekly spoken essays from prison. Mumia Abu-Jamal has also written several widely praised books while incarcerated, such as the one seen here. 2 weeks after police shot at Tupac Shakur, a new so-called friend of Tupac's set the rapper up on his infamous sexual liaison that landed him in jail. New York Haitian music promoter Jacques Agnant entered Tupac's life as the rap star worked on the set of his third film, Above the Rim. Tupac said constant arrests and what appeared as frivolous lawsuits had drained all of his money. Agnant, also known as Haitian Jack or Nigel, lavished Tupac with clothes and jewelry. Agnant also took Tupac to the most exclusive clubs that even Tupac said he wasn't sure he could gain entrance. At one such club, Jacques Agnant introduced Tupac to a woman who admitted kissing his penis on a dance floor. She then had consensual sex with Tupac that night. Tupac's activist lawyer, Michael Tarif Warren, said that she further left messages on his hotel answering machine saying she wanted to have more sex with Tupac. After the woman charged Tupac and Agnant with forcibly sodomizing her several nights later, police said they accidentally erased this taped evidence. Michael Warren had much experience working against police intelligence. He worked as the European spokesman for the Free Mumia campaign. He had also represented Tupac's stepfather, Mutulu Shakur, Pacifico radio journalist, and he had attained the reversal of convictions in the infamous Central Park Jogger case. Warren first saw a longtime Police Benevolence Association lawyer bail out Agnant and represent him in court. Warren then attained Agnant's rap sheet that he said had a long list of major crimes up and down the East Coast, all dismissed. Warren said that this was a sure sign of an undercover police intelligence agent. The long trial went very poorly for the prosecutors. For example, police medical investigators reported no sign of forced sex during the incident. Near the last day of the proceedings, the prosecution ended up telling the judge that they had accidentally withheld evidence from the defense attorney and would accept a mistrial. Tupac rejected the offer of a mistrial, wanting to clear his name. The jury found Tupac not guilty of all major charges, including forced sodomy, attempting forced sodomy, assisting forced sodomy, and gun possession. As seen in this court document describing the counts for which the jury had found Tupac guilty, they only found Tupac guilty of touching the woman's butt against her will and for assisting Agnant touching her butt against her will. While the media has wrongfully characterized this conviction as rape, or the more vague sexual assault, this court document spells out the actual charge for which prosecutors convicted Tupac. Tupac and the woman agreed that oral sex had occurred, and the judge ruled it consensual. Nonetheless, the judge sentenced Tupac to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison. Attorney Warren said that prosecutors made a rare exception in allowing Jacques Agnant to sever his case from Tupac's, and they allowed him to settle for just 2 misdemeanors. New Yorker editor Connie Bruck wrote a comprehensive article on Tupac Shakur in 1997. She revealed that the district attorney covered up why Agnant received preferential treatment by both the district attorney's office and the purported victim. This and other revelations of government foul play in that article were the likely reasons that the FBI interviewed Connie Bruck after her article's publication, as seen in this FBI document. U.S. intelligence appeared to make another attempt to murder Tupac while the jury deliberated this case in November of 1994. An associate of Jacques Agnant had offered a large amount of cash to record a song at a Times Square recording studio. When Tupac entered the lobby, gunmen fired 4 bullets into the rap star, including 2 bullets in his skull, according to the doctor's affidavit seen here. The bullets miraculously missed Tupac's brain. Tupac, seen here carried away on a stretcher, started giving the finger to the media because of the way they constantly misrepresented attacks on him. Much evidence suggests that police intelligence orchestrated this shooting. For example,